Not true.
I heard that Republicans don't like short people. And I definitely heard that Republicans are bigots. Right? So, I'm here to say I've been a Republican all of my life. I've never voted any other way. So I will be the wrench and the spoke of Walker and baggage. Bring it on.
All right, I'm Stephen Wright, and I'm also running for Lieutenant Governor. And I think that for this question, it's going to be very important that whoever wins, that you work closely with that person to be able to figure out the best strategy to go forward. I mean, the state has a lot of things that need to be improved. I kind of, for example, when SB 91 came out for the testimony, I always called in. I called in 2 times for SB 91 and many times for SB 26 to tell the legislatures that we don't want them touching our dividend. So I've been there, not as a politician, ready to stand up and to let them know that what they're doing isn't right. So, thanks.
Okay, for our next question will be for the gubernatorial candidates. And the question is, what would be your first executive action as governor? Mr. Treadwell?
My first executive action as governor is going to be appoint a cabinet that will bring trust back to the people of Alaska and to the global investment community we need to bring to invest in Alaska. And I don't know if you know this, but I was over at ConocoPhillips the other day, and they put out the number of $13 billion. $13 billion that we need to raise just to get the oil patch going. And we're going to have to show the world that we are a state that keeps our promises. We're going to have to show the world that we want investment. We have to answer people like Mark Begich, who would put their thumb in the eye if people are trying to build mines. Answer people like Mark Begich, who let Shell die death by 1,000 cuts. And so we need a good cabinet to come together, and that would be my first action as governor, is to pull together a cabinet that Alaskans are proud of, that takes the best talent we can get to put the state economy back on track.
Thank you. First thing I would do is after the cabinet's put together, is on December 15th, the budget is submitted. That's hundreds of millions of dollars less than the budgets we've been submitting. Our budgets are way beyond our ability to pay for them. So as a governor, this is what's been lacking. The governor can submit a budget $400, $500, $600 million less on December 15th. That will flip the entire conversation that's happened the last several years. Because the conversation in the legislature the last several years is, how do we cut as a legislature? It's the governor's responsibility to submit a budget that's in line with your revenues. And you start doing that by submitting a lower budget right out of the gate. The last administrative or executive decision that will be made by the governor this coming session, is going to be veto if we have to. Using the veto pen if they add things back to the budget that we don't need. Because if we don't do that, you're paying taxes and your dividend is gone and that government keeps growing. Thank you.
Okay, and this question is specific. It is only for past legislators. If you were in the legislature at the time, why did you pass SB 91? Did you not read it? Not understand it? Or were you pressured into voting for it? And we can start with, who'd like to start? Lynn, thank you.
So I voted for SB 91, and I forgot all the questions. Was I pressured? I wasn't pressured. I voted on my own volition to vote for it. People did not come to me. I never had the Pew Foundation ever come into my office. I never had lobbyists come into my office. Nobody pressured. I spent day after day after day listening to those in the trenches, those very persons that were put together as part of the Justice Commission that the legislature said, we have a problem with crime, and we need to figure it out. So we need to put those in the trenches, the cops, the courts, the lawmakers, etc. Those are the people that spoke to us and said, what we're doing now is not working. Here are the things we've spent 2 years on. Here are the things that we need to do. We asked a lot of questions. Very big bill. Did I understand everything? I can honestly tell you, no, I didn't at this time. I did vote for it. I hear the time. I'm passionate about the fact that we have a crime problem. I think it's a combination of a couple different things. And yes, I voted for it. I was not pressured to vote for it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you know, the 26 years of being in elected office, every once in a while you regret a vote. I regret my vote on SB 91. Again, at the time we took that vote, we were told almost 70% recidivism rate. And the reason for that was that a lot of people with mental health problems and drug addictions were getting arrested and put in jail with the violent criminals. So when they were coming out, they were no longer committing non-violent criminals, but they were committing violent criminals. So we knew something had to be done. The unfortunate part is that we didn't have the infrastructure in place to deal with the mental health and the drug addictions. And that's why our crime has gotten out of hand. And again, if it was up to me, we would repeal it, start over, but politics is the art of the possible. And we weren't able to do that, but what we were able to do in House Bill 312 is deal with some of the really terrible things in SB 91, like, for example, not being able to look at out-of-state crimes previously committed, and also got rid of the risk assessment tool and let the judges have a role to do. Thank you.
Okay. Next question is for the LT governor candidates. We can start wherever. Oh, I'm sorry. Please go ahead, Mike.
Thank you. So I had a long conversation with the sponsor, John Cockett, on this bill, and we talked about how